All right, so we're recording now. This should save. Hopefully the recording does save. But hello, welcome to this lesson, Oravan. To get us started, I'll have you doing the 2-minute speaking activity, which is where I set a timer and you talk to me for 2 minutes, and you're only allowed to make 3 mistakes. So once you make your 4th mistake, I'll stop you. I'll say, whoa, 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 pause. We'll stop, we'll review the mistakes you made, and then I'm going to start you over again. So whatever you said before, you'll have to repeat. And this will get you to really focus on your speech, really focus on your pronunciation and your grammar, and have you being careful. So I've given you a couple options as far as topics for your 2-minute speaking goes, so you can decide what you want to talk about. You can describe your dream workplace. You can talk about a time when you overheard a stranger on the phone, or you can describe a city that you think is very interesting. So which topic do you think you'd like to speak on first?
3, describe a city that I think is very interesting.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'll pull my timer up here. You have 2 minutes to describe an interesting city to me, starting now.
I'm going to describe a city that I live in. It's called Riverton City in the state of Utah. Riverton, I live in Riverton for almost 20 years. What's interesting in Riverton is that the city holds a lot of activities, and we have there the people that live here in Riverton are very friendly, and we're very international, or varieties of cultures.
I'm going to pause you there.
Very international variety of culture.
There you go. Cultures.
Culture.
So I'll go through some of these, and then I'll have you start again from the beginning. Overall, really awesome job with this. Your speech was very clear. A little bit of pausing here and there, so maybe not as fluid as it could be. But I'm sure the second time through, once you sort of have an idea of what you're going to say, it'll be a little bit more fluid. So this first one you said, I'm going to describe a city that I live in. Here you've said a city that I live in. Because you're being specific about which city you're in, and you're talking about one specific city, and it's the one that you're living in right now, I would use the instead of a.
Oh, the city.
Describe the city that I live in. Okay. Here, this one, I live in Riverton for almost 20 years. There's one thing missing from this, and I want to see if you can tell me what it is.
I lived?
Yes, lived.
Lived.
So lived would be plain past tense. You can say, I lived in Riverton for almost 20 years. That makes it sound like you're all done. What if you started in the past and it's still happening now? What verb structure would you use?
I'm living.
You can say,
I'm living.
Good. Or you could say, I have lived.
Oh, I have lived. Okay. Yeah, I have lived in Riverton. Oh, it doesn't. I am living in Riverton for almost 20 years.
Yep, you could say I
know it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't sound, but
I have been.
Or I have been living in Riverton for almost 20 years.
So you have a couple options here. I have lived in Riverton for almost 20 years, or I have been living in Riverton for almost 20 years. To me, both of these sound equally correct. So you could say both of these. This next one, can you read this word for me?
Holds.
Good. Better holds.
Holds.
Be sure to have the D sound here. Holds.
Holds.
Just like that. Holds.
Holds.
Good. So this is one of your common errors. This word is especially difficult because you have not only the L and the D, but this S at the end poses a
Holds.
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 Can you use it in a sentence?
The city holds the party at the park.
Good. The city holds the party at
Holds.
Good. Right. And this last mistake, very international variety of culturals.
Culture.
Cultures. There are a couple things you could do here. This sentence.
Oh, there's I wanted to say, like, there's so many people from different countries.
Yeah, there you go. Different countries. You can say the city is very international. Lots of.
Oh yeah, yes.
Like this. The city is very international with a variety of cultures. All right. So we've gone over those. I'll restart your 2 minutes. So starting from the beginning, you can tell me about an interesting city. So your 2 minutes starts now.
So I will describe the city that I live in. I have lived in Riverton for almost 20 years. The city holds lots of activities. The city is very international with variety of cultures. When I moved to Riverton, the city is considered to be the countryside. But now it's very developed. Lots of shopping center. Costco just came in. They just built Costco, and we have a community called the district. Is where there are movie theaters, eating out.
I'm gonna pause you right there.
Sorry.
It's okay. You're okay. This first one here, lived. This one, you corrected this first sentence here. I could tell that you said, I have lived in Riverton for almost 20 years, but the D at the end of lived was missing. So having that clear.
Lived.
Lived. Good. Lived. This
Lived.
Good. Lived.
Cultural.
Do you use it in a sentence?
I lived in Riverton City.
Good. Here, this next sentence, I think for the pronunciation of culture, you just you trip over the last L a little bit, and then you add in another L sounding like cultural.
Is that spelled correct? Because there's red thing on it, that's why.
So this, you said culturals. You can, cultural is describing something. You can say this.
Cultural? What about cultural?
Yeah, with a variety of cultural. It has to be describing something, so you have to have a noun after it. You can say with a variety of cultural monuments, or a variety of cultural clubs, a variety of cultural places.
Yes, places.
mhm.
Mhm.
Yep, you can say this. But if culture is just by itself, it has to be culture and not cultural.
Yeah, like culture. That's what I mean. Like they have a variety of culture.
Mhm.
See, yeah, cultures.
Yeah, cultures.
Cultures.
So
I've never pronounced or say that word culturals. It's
culture.
always my cultures.
Mhm.
Not the
Culture.
other one, the culturals.
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 You don't put an S at the end of this one. It can't have
Oh, cultural.
Mhm. So you can say with a variety of cultures.
Oh, cultures.
Mhm. So this is the noun form. Culture
With a
is a noun.
variety of
Cultures. You can
cultures.
with a variety of cultures. This next one, you say, when I moved to Riverton, the city is considered to be the countryside. What's happening here? Can you correct it?
Was
Yes, the city was considered. Mhm. Can you tell me why?
because it was undeveloped.
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 Good. There you go. That's one of your tricky things. The P and the
Undeveloped.
Mhm. Undeveloped. Yep. So here, when I moved to Riverton, the city was considered to be the countryside because it's all in the past. And I'll add undeveloped here, just so you have it.
Undeveloped. Undeveloped. Up. Upped.
Awesome. Can you use undeveloped in a sentence?
Riverton City was undeveloped. Undeveloped.
Undeveloped.
Undeveloped.
Good. Developed.
Laos is undeveloped.
Awesome. Yes. Undeveloped.
Undeveloped.
Good.
Undeveloped.
Awesome. When you're practicing, it's always good to really emphasize the T at the end, just so when you're speaking more naturally, it's more likely to appear in your speech. Right. And this last one here, one of your common errors as well, having the R and the S at the end and pronouncing the S. Centers.
Centers.
Good. Centers. And the S here is a little bit more like a Z.
Centers. Centers.
Good. Centers.
Centers.
Nice. And can you use it in a sentence?
There are lots of shopping centers.
Awesome. That sounds great. And do you like that about Riverton? Do you like that it's more developed now? Or did you like it better before?
I like it now.
Did you like it both ways?
Yes. Even though we have a lot of centers or buildings, it still feel like it's not cramped. The city is not because the homes are have a good amount of land.
So everybody like has their yard.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice. Well, yeah, because in class you were telling me the other day that you, or I guess that was today, you were telling me that you have a lot of quails. So I figured you must have a pretty big yard to have a lot of animals like that.
And Riverton does not have many townhomes or apartments.
So most of them are houses.
Houses, yes.
Interesting.
Cramped up. Cramped up. Or what's another word to
this sentence
describe?
right
Busy? It's not.
You can say cramped. Cramped is not the issue with this sentence. Right here, it still feel like it's not cramped.
It still feel. It feels, or you can say it
Feels.
feels.
Mhm.
It feels.
Exactly. It has to be S because it is third person singular, so you have to conjugate the verb for that.
Mhm.
So this is both verb conjugation and pronunciation of the S at the end of the word. Right. Let's see. Let's do another round of the 2 minutes, and I'll start you from the beginning.
Mhm.
Right. So we have 2 minutes starting now.
Can I go up to the screen?
Do you want to see the mistakes from before?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can review them, but I want you to be able to also say them without looking at them
Okay.
as an extra challenge.
I'll probably make another mistake.
Okay.
Um. I will describe. Oh my god, I can't even feel it in conversation now.
That's okay. Don't focus on the fact that it's recording or that I'm timing you. There's a lot going on right
Yeah,
here.
it's not that. Like I have I don't know what is. I feel like there's something wrong with me having a conversation. Like
I don't
when
think so. Usually in class, when you're not focused on a timer or when we're just talking, like today when we were talking about fruits, so fluid.
yeah. So yeah.
Just talk to me about your city.
Okay. So Riverton have I live in Riverton I lived in Riverton for almost 20 years. And when we moved here, it was considered a countryside city. But now Riverton is very developed. It was undeveloped before. There are lots of shopping centers, movie theaters. Also, the city holds varieties of activities. People wise, there are different cultures.
Yes.
Um,
So what kind of activities does the city hold?
they will do. They hold like movie in the park. Like we have like free ice skating rings during winter times, and like the libraries will have scone, deep fried bread, and hot chocolate. Yes. Easter, they will do free Easter egg hunts. Rodeos for like fireworks. Yes.
Lots of different stuff. What did you say before? Rodeos?
Rodeo.
Oh, rodeo.
Rodeo.
Like with horses and cows and stuff.
Yes.
Have you been to a rodeo?
Yes.
Did you have fun?
Yes.
Awesome. Ooh. That's the end of the 2 minutes. Ooh. Let me pause the timer.
Riverton has the city holds.
Right, the timer wouldn't turn off. There we go. Yep, so there's 4 here, but I wanted to hear more about the rodeo, so I didn't pause you just yet. Ooh, we will end in 10 minutes. Yeah, that's fine. All right, this first one you said Riverton have.
Had.
Had is in the past. What about right now?
Oh, having.
Having, that's now continuously. What about simple present?
Have, has.
That's
Having.
Having is continuous.
Oh, continuous.
This is one of your very common errors.
Riverton.
I have, you have.
It have.
It has.
It has.
Yes. There
has.
So Riverton has, because Riverton is an it, third person singular. For third person singular simple present, it has to be has. Riverton has this. This one, the city holds varieties of activities. At first you said the city holds variety of activities, and then you changed it to varieties. Let me read this to myself and think. Their city holds varieties. This maybe is not necessarily wrong, but it sounds better to say the city holds a variety of activities. So saying holds a variety. This sounds just a little bit smoother. The next one, they hold movie in the park.
They hold a movie.
Yep, you can say that. And what if they have more than one?
Movies.
They have movies in the park.
Movies, yes.
And this word right here, can you read this one?
Libraries. Library, just no S, no, just library.
You can say libraries. Say library. It's countable, so you can pluralize it. Here, I just want you to pay special attention to the R here in this middle part.
Libraries.
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 Brer.
Good. Braries.
Braries.
Good. Libraries.
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 Oh, libraries.
Awesome. Exactly.
Libraries.
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 Good.
Libraries.
Good. Libraries.
Libraries.
Good. Can you use it in a sentence?
We have a big libraries.
We have a big library, or we have a couple libraries.
We have a couple libraries.
Good. Libraries.
Libraries.
A couple
libraries.
How about just singular? Library.
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 Brer.
Brer.
Brary.
Brer. Library. Library. Library.
Library.
Library.
Good.
Library. Library.
Good. Library.
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 Good. We have a library.
We have a library.
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 Awesome. Library.
Library.
Good.
Brer.
Mhm. So you were saying before that you've been to a rodeo. How was that? You said you enjoyed it.
Yes.
Did you know anybody who was like participating in the rodeo, or were you just there to watch?
No, I was just there to watch,
Hmm.
to experience different activity.
Different activities.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So you had never been to one before?
No.
No. When was that? How many years ago?
3 years ago.
hmm Have you been to one since?
No.
No. You went to one and you said that's enough.
Yeah, it's hot. Hot.
Yeah. Yeah, hot and dusty, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
hot and dusty. I have bad allergies.
hmm Yeah, so I'm sure it wasn't good for the allergies.
No.
It's dusty and the animals stink a little bit, so
Yeah.
it's lots of sneezing, lots of coughing afterwards.
Uh-huh.
hmm But still, it's good to experience at least once.
Yes.
Get the authentic Utah culture.
Uh-huh.
Yes, definitely. So it sounds like you like living in Riverton.
Yes.
hmm You've been there for a while. And I know that you've said some of your family lives in Texas, but some of them it sounds like live pretty close by.
Yes. They live in Kearns, South Jordan,
hmm
West Jordan. So it's like couple lights.
A couple lights. Oh, so they're just like a couple like blocks away.
Yes.
So they're also in Riverton.
No.
No, it's a
Maybe.
different part of the city.
Yes.
Or a different city. Yeah.
Yeah, different city.
But still really close.
Yes.
hmm That's good. Right. Let's see. So we've been over these. We've done the 2-minute speaking activity. It looks like we're almost done with time for today. We're almost up at the half hour, and the meeting is about to time out. So I will pause this. We'll just sort of scroll up. We'll see. I'll highlight this at least so that we know where the activity is, or I'll label it so that I know what we were doing when all of these mistakes were made. And for your homework tonight, you don't have to review these, but generally, if I had you as a student, just one-on-one, I would include these in the practice to do.
Yeah, I will still practice it.
Go practice.
I
Okay.
wanna I wanna pronounce it correctly.
Yes, definitely. It'll help you, even if it takes a little bit longer. Practicing at night and outside of class definitely helps you to improve in the long run.
Yes.
All right, so I will stop sharing at the end of our half hour. So thank you so much for agreeing to do this video and this little lesson. It's more or less the same as what we've done in class before, but it's just me and you this time. So
Okay.
all right. So I'll end the call. I hope you have an excellent rest of your day and a good evening. And I'll see you back here again tomorrow with the rest of the class.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. You too.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye-bye.